Falling leaves in a quiet stream, lost in the current, caught in a dream. The sky whispers secrets, soft and low, a hidden truth only the brave will know.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Narrative Threads, the podcast where we unravel the stories that stick with us. I'm your host, Mia. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating concept, something that makes you think about what we hold dear. And I've got the perfect person to help us explore it. Lucas, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Mia. Happy to be here.
So Lucas, we're talking about the library that lets you borrow moments. This whole idea of trading your own memories for curated experiences is just wow. It's like a whole new level of storytelling, right?
Absolutely. It takes the concept of experience and makes it tangible, almost commodified.
Yeah, commodified. That's a good word. So let's just dive right in. This library, it's not filled with books, but with moments. Like first love, a mom's hug, a victory, a miracle. It sounds so beautiful, so tempting.
It's the ultimate curated feed, isn't it? Instead of scrolling through someone else's highlight reel, you're stepping directly into their most profound experiences. Think about it. You could feel the sheer adrenaline of winning a championship, the quiet comfort of a parent's embrace, or that dizzying butterflies in your stomach feeling of a first kiss, all without living through the messy, uncertain process yourself.
Oh, that sounds so incredibly alluring. Like, imagine just wanting to relive that one perfect summer day from your childhood. Or feeling the warmth of a hug from someone you've lost. It's almost like a shortcut to pure emotional bliss. But then there's the catch, isn't there? Each borrowed moment erases one of your own.
Exactly, that's the Faustian bargain at the heart of this library. It's not a simple trade of time for entertainment, it's a trade of self for experience. You're literally chipping away at your personal history, your identity, with every memory you borrow.
Ugh, that's so unsettling. It's like you're trading who you are for who you want to feel like for a little while. You lose a piece of your own journey, your own growth, your own unique story. It makes me think, what kind of moments would be the most tempting to borrow? Like, are we talking about the big, dramatic ones or the small, everyday ones?
I think it starts with the small, seemingly insignificant ones. The ones we might overlook or even regret. Maybe a moment of embarrassment, a minor argument with a friend, a time you felt lonely. You might think, why hold on to that? So you trade it for, say, the overwhelming joy of seeing your child take their first steps, or the sheer relief of a life-saving surgery.
Wow, that's a really good point. You'd be so focused on the positive gain, you wouldn't even realize what you're losing is just as important in shaping you. So these borrowed moments, are they just like watching a movie, or is it a full sensory immersion? Can you feel the texture of the grass, smell the ocean breeze?
The premise implies a complete sensory and emotional transfer. It's not passive viewing, it's active experiencing. You'd feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of that first love's kiss, the chill of fear during a crisis. It's designed to be indistinguishable from your own lived reality, at least while you're in it.
No kidding. That's actually terrifying when you think about it. Because if it feels that real, how do you even begin to tell the difference between your own memories and the borrowed ones after a while? It's like putting on someone else's skin, but then that skin starts to feel like your own.
Precisely. And that leads us to the core of the narrative in the library that lets you borrow moments. The addiction aspect. It's incredibly easy to see how someone could get hooked, constantly seeking those intense highs, those perfect emotional states.
Yeah, it's like a drug, right? You chase that feeling, and the more you chase it, the more you need it, and the more of yourself you lose. So the story centers on a girl, right? What happens when she becomes addicted? How does that manifest in her life?
She starts by borrowing small, desirable moments. Maybe she's feeling a bit down, so she borrows the feeling of a successful presentation at work, or the thrill of a spontaneous vacation. Each time, a small, perhaps insignificant memory of her own fades away. a childhood birthday party, a silly argument with her best friend, the taste of her grandmother's cookies.
So it's a slow erosion then, like a sandcastle being washed away by the tide, one grain at a time. You don't notice it's gone until the whole structure is different. What are some of the more profound moments she might erase without realizing their significance?
Perhaps she erases the memory of learning to ride a bike, the scraped knees, and the triumph of finally balancing. Or the memory of her first heartbreak, which, though painful, taught her about resilience and empathy. These aren't just events. They're foundational building blocks of her character. They inform how she navigates challenges, how she connects with others.
Wow. So the things that make us times are the first to go. That's a harsh trade. It's like trading the ingredients for the finished cake. You end up with a cake, but you don't remember where the recipe came from or how it was made. So what happens when she starts to lose not just small memories, but really core ones? Does she start to forget people she knows?
That's the terrifying escalation. As the addiction deepens, she needs bigger, more intense borrowed experiences to get the same rush. This means erasing more significant, more personal memories. She might borrow the feeling of profound love from someone else's wedding day, and in doing so, accidentally erase her own memories of her parents' unwavering support throughout her life.
Oh no, that's heartbreaking. So she's feeling this borrowed love, but she's losing the very real foundational love that shaped her? That's just a hollow victory. She's getting the feeling of love, but losing the context, the history, the people who actually provided it for her. It's like having a perfect replica of a diamond, but the original is gone forever.
Exactly. And the ultimate tragedy, as the premise states, is that she can't remember who she originally was. Her own personal narrative has been so thoroughly overwritten that her original identity is lost. She's a patchwork of borrowed emotions and experiences, none of which are authentically hers. She becomes a stranger to herself.
That's such a chilling thought. To become a stranger to yourself. You're living a life, feeling things, but none of it is rooted in your own foundation. It's like being in a beautifully furnished house, but having no memory of ever building it, or even owning it. So after all this, essentially the core idea is that the pursuit of curated emotional highs can lead to the erosion of one's authentic self. Let's bookmark that and continue after a break. Okay, Lucas, we're back. Before the break, we were talking about how the girl in the library that lets you borrow moments loses herself through borrowing memories. It's like she's trading genuine personal history for fleeting, borrowed emotions, and it's making her a stranger to herself.
Right. And it brings up the question of what truly constitutes a memory and its value. Are memories just data points to be curated? Or are they the very fabric of our being?
That's a deep question, and it makes me wonder about the library's operational side. How does this even work? Is it like a sophisticated neurological interface? Do they have, like, a database of everyone's memories?
The narrative doesn't necessarily delve into the nitty-gritty of the technology, but we can infer it's a highly advanced, almost magical system. Think of it as a vast, interconnected consciousness repository. When you borrow a moment, you're essentially downloading an experience package. The sensory data, the emotional imprint, the context, directly into your own neural pathways.
A consciousness repository. Wow. So it's not just watching a video. It's like a neural download. That's way beyond anything we have now. But if it's a download, where does the original memory go? Is it just copied? Or is it truly erased from the original person's mind?
The premise states each borrowed moment erases one of your own. This implies a form of direct neural overwrite or deletion. It's not a simple copy-paste. The library's system likely targets specific memory engrams, the physical traces of memories in the brain, and replaces them. It's a selective erasure to make space for the new experience.
A neural overwrite. That sounds painful, even if you don't feel it. Like a delicate tapestry being unpicked. And the space-making aspect is so important. It's not just adding. It's actively removing. This is what makes the addiction so potent. The library is actively helping you discard the parts of yourself you might not want to remember, making it easier to keep borrowing.
Exactly. It exploits our natural human desire to avoid pain and seek pleasure. Why endure the sting of regret or embarrassment when you can instantly replace it with the euphoria of a championship win? The library offers a superficial cure for emotional discomfort, but at a devastating cost to one's identity.
It's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But the library is the antithesis of that. It's like what doesn't kill you will just erase, and then you'll feel stronger for a bit, but eventually you'll be weaker because you've lost the lessons learned from those tough moments.
That's a perfect analogy, Mia. The challenges and even the painful moments are integral to building resilience and wisdom. Without them, you're essentially a beautifully polished shell, but hollow inside. You might feel joy, but you won't understand its depth because you haven't known sorrow. You might feel love, but you won't appreciate its power because you haven't experienced loss.
Wow. So when you say weak offensive execution in a movie, it's like that? The heroes are doing something, but it's not sharp enough to cut through the defense, and they lose? In this library context, borrowing moments is like executing a strong offensive play. It feels good, it's exciting, but if you erase the memory of practicing the playbook, or learning from a fumbled pass, then your overall skill set diminishes. You're not actually getting better.
That's a great way to put it. The borrowed moments are the scoring plays, but the erased memories are the training montages and the post-game analysis that build true competence and character. Without those, you're just relying on flashy, unsustainable plays.
So let's tie this back to the library that lets you borrow moments. The girl, she's not building anything. She's just consuming. And the more she consumes, the less she has of her own substance. What's the ultimate consequence for her, beyond just forgetting who she is?
The ultimate consequence is a complete loss of agency and self. She becomes a vessel for borrowed experiences, unable to form genuine connections or make authentic choices because her personal history, her internal compass, has been erased. She might feel happy or sad, but those emotions are fleeting and unanchored to any personal truth.
That's so profound. She's living someone else's life, but even that's a stretch because she doesn't even remember whose life she's borrowing from. It's just a string of disconnected sensations and emotions. It sounds like a really advanced form of escapism taken to its absolute extreme, where the escape becomes the only reality.
It is, and it raises a critical point about what we value in our own lives. Do we prioritize the raw, sometimes messy authenticity of our lived experiences, or the polished, curated perfection of borrowed moments?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It makes you want to go out and, deliberately remember something a little embarrassing just to feel that it's mine. So regarding the erosion of self, what we've discussed boils down to the fact that our memories, even the painful ones, are the architects of our identity, and sacrificing them for fleeting emotional gratification leads to a profound emptiness. Let's take a moment to reflect before continuing. All right, Lucas, we're back. We've talked about how borrowing moments in the library that lets you borrow moments erases your own, leading to a loss of self. It's a real cautionary tale about authenticity and the value of our personal history.
Absolutely. And it prompts us to consider the societal implications of such a technology. If this library existed, who would be the primary users? And what would it do to our collective understanding of shared human experience?
Oh, wow, that's a whole other layer. I mean, you could see people who have trauma, right? They'd be desperate to erase those memories. Or people who feel their lives are mundane, wanting to inject excitement. It feels like it would create a society of emotional tourists.
Emotional tourists is a perfect descriptor. They would experience the peaks of human emotion, the joy of a proposal, the thrill of an adventure, but without the context, the effort, or the personal growth that comes from living those moments authentically. It's like visiting a theme park versus building your own house.
And it would probably create really interesting social divides, wouldn't it? Like the people who can afford to borrow the best moments and those who are left with their original, perhaps less glamorous, lives. It's like a class system based on emotional experience.
Precisely. You could imagine a scenario where the wealthy might borrow moments of incredible success or profound happiness, further distancing themselves from the struggles that might offer empathy and understanding for others. It could lead to a society that's less connected, less compassionate.
That's a really somber thought. Instead of shared human experience bringing us closer, a technology that commodifies it could actually push us further apart. So, in this library, if you borrow a miracle, what does that even entail? Is it like a moment of genuine, inexplicable good fortune?
It could be. Imagine borrowing the feeling of a loved one miraculously recovering from a terminal illness, or experiencing a life-altering serendipitous encounter. These are moments that defy logic, moments that imbue life with wonder. But again, the cost is an erasure from your own reality.
And that erasure could be the very memory of a struggle you overcame, or a lesson learned from a difficult time that would have prepared you for future challenges. It's like saying, I don't need to learn resilience. I'll just borrow someone else's miracle instead. It's a fundamentally passive approach to life, isn't it?
It is. The library offers a shortcut that bypasses the essential human journey of growth. We learn and evolve through our experiences, our triumphs, and our failures. To outsource that process is to forfeit the very essence of being human.
It's like in a video game, where you can just buy power-ups instead of earning them through gameplay. You get stronger, faster, but you miss out on the skill development, the strategy, the satisfaction of true accomplishment. And when the game ends, or the power-ups run out, you're left with nothing you actually earned.
That's a very apt comparison. The borrowed moments provide temporary boosts, but they don't build lasting character or intrinsic worth. The girl's addiction in the library that lets you borrow moments is the ultimate manifestation of this, seeking external validation and sensation because her internal foundation has crumbled.
It really makes you appreciate the small, everyday moments, doesn't it? Like the quiet satisfaction of finishing a task, the warmth of a shared laugh, even the sting of a disappointment that you learn from. Those are the building blocks. They're not always glamorous, but they are real. They are asterisk hours.
They are the indelible ink of our personal history. The library, while offering an alluring escape, ultimately proposes a form of self-annihilation disguised as enrichment.
Self-annihilation disguised as enrichment. Wow. That's a powerful way to put it. It's the ultimate trick. You think you're gaining something, but you're actually losing everything that matters. So for this topic, the key takeaway is that while the idea of borrowing perfect moments is tempting, the cost of erasing our own experiences leads to a profound loss of identity and authentic selfhood. Let's bookmark that and continue after a break. Welcome back, everyone. We've been deep diving into the library that lets you borrow moments, exploring the seductive nature of borrowed experiences and the devastating cost of losing your own memories. Lucas, we've touched on addiction, loss of self, and societal implications. What do you think is the underlying human need that makes this concept so compelling, even with its dark side?
I think it taps into a fundamental human desire for control and perfection. We often wish we could edit our lives, remove the regrets, amplify the joys. The library offers the illusion of that control, a way to curate a perfect emotional existence.
Control and perfection. Yeah, that makes total sense. Nobody wants to relive a mistake, right? Or feel that gut-wrenching regret. So it's like an idealized version of life on demand. But life isn't perfect, and our imperfections are what make us interesting and what we learn from.
Exactly. Our struggles, our perceived failures, our moments of vulnerability, they are the crucibles in which our character is forged. The library bypasses this crucible, offering a shortcut to a manufactured sense of fulfillment.
It's like trying to bake a cake by just buying the finished product. You get the taste, but you miss the entire process of measuring, mixing, the anticipation, and the pride of creation. And you never learn how to bake yourself.
That's a fantastic analogy. The library provides the cake, but the process of baking, living, learning, experiencing is what shapes us. The girl in the story, she consumes countless cakes, but never learns to bake her own. Eventually, she can't even identify what a cake is supposed to taste like anymore, because her original palate has been erased.
Her original palate. I love that. So she can't even recognize genuine happiness or love anymore because she's only experienced the borrowed, potentially hollow versions. It's like she's lost her innate sense of flavor for life. It's a real tragedy.
It is. And it serves as a stark reminder that our personal histories, the good and the bad, are not just a collection of events. They are the very essence of who we are. To erase them is to erase ourselves.
It really makes you appreciate the richness of your own messy, imperfect life. The moments you cherish, the ones you cringe at, they all contribute to the tapestry. And you can't just pull out threads without unraveling the whole thing.
Indeed. The library offers a tempting illusion, but the reality is that true fulfillment comes from embracing our own lived experience, not from borrowing someone else's.
So, after all this, essentially the core idea is that the human desire for perfection and control can lead us to seek out artificial experiences. But true selfhood and growth are cultivated through embracing our authentic, imperfect journeys, not by erasing them. That wraps today's episode. Thanks for listening.
Falling leaves in a quiet stream, lost in the current, caught in a dream. The sky whispers secrets, soft and low, a hidden truth only the brave will know. Every chapter, every fall, there's a meaning behind it all. No moment wasted, no tear in vain. Every lesson grows through pain.